I'm on your side. It's just you in there, calling the shots.
You think you know what's best for me? You think you know what I need? My little helper?
So I grew up a Marvel kid. I don't really know much about DC. I watched the Batman animated series when I was little. I also watched the X-Men animated series. As far as comics are concerned, what I collected was Marvel comics. And then when I was into my teens, I drifted more towards Image, but never DC. I didn't start getting into DC till about 6 or 7 years ago. The darkness of the characters started appealing to me more. I guess that's just life affecting you. I don't know, you're getting older. Either way, I don't know much about these characters. So, and there's so many different versions of Batman. You got, Tim Burton's Batman, you got Nolan's Batman, and you got Matt Reeves' Batman, which is what this universe is. Matt Reeves doesn't really have anything to do with this other than executive producer, but he didn't direct anything as far as I know. Maybe an episode. He might do the finale for all I know. That seems like more of what somebody would do if it's like some kind of epic finale. But anyway, as far as this show is concerned, I'm really getting sucked into this. I mentioned my first video with The Sopranos. The only ties to that are just they're both mafia and on HBO. What I like about this is, again, like I said, when I got older, I was more appealed to the DC, the darkness of it, which this is nailing. So I really like the grittiness of this, the brooding, dark tone. The violence is good. The way they opened up this episode with Sophia and she was having that mental struggle with her brother. The only thing I didn't like is when there was about 10 seconds there with her therapist, played by Theo Rossi. If you know Sons of Anarchy, you know that actor. You're familiar with him. But for about 10 seconds, I thought they were going to kiss. I'm glad that didn't happen. I hope it doesn't. Or if it does, I don't know, whatever. But for that moment, I thought that would have cheapened it. I thought that would have cheapened the scene. I really liked the way that they opened this episode up. And the way she became serious. He's like, I can help you, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. She's like, no, I'm home. Like, I'm ready to go. I really, really like Sophia Falcone's character. I don't know anything about. I don't want to look anything up either, because I don't want to see a storyline and then maybe get spoilers, or see a storyline and then they didn't do something really cool. So I just want to see what this show is going to throw at me, and just kind of ride it out. And then maybe after the season's over, I don't know if they're going to do a second season or not, but maybe I'll look back and kind of see what they might have touched on or what they could have done, or that might be a little fun. But as of right now, I don't want to know anything about anybody other than what this show is showing me, and so far what they are presenting is excellent. I will mention a couple cons though. The actor that plays Victor is still too little mopey for me. I understand that's probably the character because he's getting verbally abused, and so that's probably why they cast this actor for that. And he's probably going to have some swing where he's a tough guy, or he has a big moment, or he just says, screw it, this is who I am, totally embrace the life. They showed him looking back at those flyers of missing people at that one point, and then he was getting that text. So there's definitely some kind of family going on, family issue. I don't know much about this universe, and I don't know if he's a character from the comics or not. Like I said, I don't want to look anything up. And the other thing I didn't like was the knife scene when after the Penguin took out that guy, and then I don't know, they wanted to find who has a knife or whatever. From beginning where he walked up to Johnny Vitti and Milos, and he's like, oh, I already know, oh, there's somebody in the basement, you didn't tell me. I thought just all that was just a little too forced, personally. I mean, there was a nice little twist because you thought he was going to plant the knife on Johnny, but he planted it on Sophia's right-hand man. I can't think of his name. But so there was a little bit of a twist, but then they get rid of that guy, her henchman there. And, it all just, it was a little too smooth of a transition. I mean, he was in there with the, because he sent the guys down in the basement when he's like, oh, you got somebody in the basement? But he was down there with that guy before he stabbed him for like a long time, and they never walked in, and then he hobbled his way upstairs. So I thought, maybe it's nitpicky, it's like 90 seconds of a part I didn't like. Everything else was excellent. I mentioned Sophia earlier. I am definitely digging this character. I think the actress that they got, what she does with her big brown eyes and then like her facial movements, her mouth movements, is like, you can see, I don't know if she's doing it on purpose. I would assume so, because she's a professional. She is kind of like, she has this crazy battle going on in her head, so her face is kind of showing that, and her eyes are kind of showing that, but she's keeping her composure and everything, and it's very intriguing. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it. I don't know. I don't know much about the character, but I'm totally digging her. So the only things, like I said, the bad parts is that actor. Again, that's nitpicky on my part. And then just that whole transition with the dude that was in the basement, and then he ended up stabbing him, and then we got to find a knife. Like, how many henchmen are gonna have knives on them? You know, there's gonna be a bunch. But now what we have is we have a bunch of moving parts, which I really like, because nobody can be trusted. We got Johnny, who's banging Luca's wife. It's been going on for years or whatever. But everybody's kind of backstabbing each other and just playing each other. We don't know who has how many steps on who's figured who out, who's being suckered, what this person's play is. Everybody wants to be on top. I really like everything, and we're it's only episode 2, and we already seen that the Penguin's plans might not always work out. He's gonna get out of them. He's gonna get out of situations. That's just the way it is, and that's fine. But what kind of casualties are going to be along the way, or how deep is the hole going to be dug that he has to climb out? So it's all very intriguing, and I definitely like the tone. Like I said, the violence is really good. I like that there's cuss words. I'm that simple, and that's fine. So everything's about this show I really, really enjoy. And we're gonna have fillers. It's only 8 episodes, I believe, but we're gonna have 1 or 2 fillers that are gonna be setting up. But what they've delivered on the first 2 episodes, but I think fillers for something like this will be okay. They're setting up that Let's Dance, the way they ended that with the Penguin and Sophia. That was excellent, because you're just like, fuck yeah. But you also know that she's going to find out what happened, or maybe she already knows, and she's going to use the Penguin as a tool to help her get what she wants, and then try to kill him. And for all I know, she does kill him. I have no idea where this Matt Reeves universe is going to go, so I guess we'll find out. But I definitely like that. And like I was saying, it's okay, this type of filler, because there doesn't have to be a bunch of action. Just dialogue and kind of set up, and just double crossing, in an organized crime universe is totally fine. So in a trailer for the upcoming episodes, I saw more Arkham shots with Sophia. So we're gonna have more flashbacks or mental episodes, and the way she was scratching at her neck, I'm curious to see what that's all about. And so yeah, I will be doing weekly reviews of this show, more than likely. 1, because I like the show, and 2, because I got to get better at these videos. The only way to do that is to pump out more videos, and I want to talk about the show and share my opinions. And I'll be doing other stuff, other movies probably, more than likely, but one thing for sure, I will be reviewing this show specifically. So I will catch you next time.